The reason I am speaking about getting essentials ready, putting them in a bin, putting them in your garage if you live in a house, or just go ahead and start putting them in a minivan or a van and start tricking out your van, well, is because if things go down inside a city, there's going to be chaos. You're going to want to get out. Now, why would there be chaos inside of a city? Well, already, and I'm going to talk about this in the next video, is the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, is going to start experimenting with digital currency. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it. I didn't make it up. And I know what I'm talking about. I've been following this. My ears are to the track all the time. Am I afraid? No, I'm not afraid. But there are some different things I think I might want to do with my money that's in the bank. They're saying that probably put your money in assets, but we'll talk about that on the next video. Let's do that. Right now, I want to do part two of essentials, getting your stuff together. If our US dollar goes down and it collapses, which is a huge possibility. Oh, and they've been talking about this for years. But I do believe that we're edging very, very uncomfortably close to it, right? People are going to lose their jobs. It's going to be mass hysteria, like on Ghostbusters. Cats and dogs laying together. Oh my gosh. It's going to be chaos. It will. And which means that people are going to freak out. They will freak out. They might not be getting their drugs because they need their fix. There's a whole lot of people that might not get their medications right away. Once we do a reset, there could be pretty glitchy. You know how it goes. It could be glitchy. So let's have coffee together and let's discuss this. Cheers. Meow. You don't want to be in the city. There's going to be people that are on antidepressants or on their medications that they can't get it. There's going to be people that possibly can't get on their phones. They're going to freak out. You know how it can go. They'll become zombies. And if you're in the middle of it, you might want to get out of the city. I've already been talking about mass theft going on. I just saw a video today where this couple parked in a parking lot. They were visiting San Antonio, Texas, and they were doing the sights, and they obviously were parked with their RV parked out like their fifth wheel, but they had their truck. Nothing was in it, but still, it was a nice looking truck. There weren't a lot of people around where they parked, but it was an open area during the day. Within 2 seconds, somebody had broken into that, and it was quite shocking. So, theft is going on. We had Julia, her car was stolen. She hasn't received it back. They haven't found it. From my last video that I said that theft is increasing, so many stories. Oh my gosh. One of you said, oh, well, like something about, well, it sounds like America, that, that's in America. Really? Well, I've got friends all over the world now through the YouTube channel, and it's going on everywhere. There is like exponential increase in theft, people working together as a theft ring. I mean, Paul or I are discussing, can we even go into a restaurant together? Can we? We don't know. Because we've already decided that we're not going to, when one person goes into the store, the other one's going to wait and watch the vehicles. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's coming down to that, because even Julia said she's not a nomad, but she's a moderator of Minivan Lisa's Nomad Life Facebook group. Join it. I'll leave the link for it in comments. I'll pin it, that comment. I'm also going to leave links for all the things that I talk about, the essentials, and I'll make a list of things that don't have links. Okay? Well, even she said, oh my gosh, what if I would have lived in my minivan with all you guys, you're my friends, and you guys are nomads? Well, yeah. Okay, so let's get started with my list. I did bring my list here. Okay, let's get started. Let's get on with it. Get yourself a bucket. I bought this one. I really like this one. I did spend more for it. I bought this at Home Depot. It's just a small bucket. It had a little thing in there, that you could put like a mop in there. I ripped it out and threw it away. I like it because it's got a nice base to it. If you get a bucket that's like this, when you're driving, it's going to tip over. Oy vey schmear. You don't want that. I wanted one that's pretty much straight down, got a nice base to it, and you want some large bags to put in it. Okay, and I got myself a toilet seat. I took off the top part. It did nothing for me. It was just extra weight. I don't need it. But and it just sits on there fine. Now get yourself a pee bottle. Mine is wide mouth, obviously, because I have to hover over it because I'm a girl. If you're a guy, you can get, I think Paul uses Simply Lemonade or something like that. The opening of that is about that big, but he's got the hose going on so he can aim it in, right? He's a guy. I use this because I just don't want this to set. Yeah, and I empty this every day, and I just set it in. It's one of those Easter egg things, but I sit it in here. I kind of put everything together. It sits on my front seat when I'm not driving. When I'm driving or getting out, I set it back here. It just goes back and forth, back and forth. But that's what you need. You need to be able to go to the bathroom. Yes. You need a wash rag. I talked about the wipes and everything. You're going to use a lot of wipes. You're going to use paper towels. But you want to have, I would say, 2 wash rags if it's just you. If there's more, there are 2 of you, I'm going to say in a minivan, oh my gosh, I'm going to go on, let me get some essentials going on people who maybe have 1 to 2 people in the family. If you have more, you're just going to have to add on. I say 2 wash rags. I own 2 wash rags. And I own a collapsible bucket. Get one of those. Oh my gosh. But if all else fails, well, you could use your bucket, but you don't want to do that. Here. I'm sure a lot of you've seen this already. I just keep the wash rag that I'm using at the moment. I reuse this. I use this about 3 or 4 days. And then I've got a collapsible bucket. Perfect. Look at that. There you go. When I wash my face and stuff, I only fill about, I don't like to waste water, but you need one of those. And they're not that expensive. I think it's like $10 at Walmart, but go on Amazon and get one. Okay, so you need that to clean yourself with. You also need to get some tea tree oil. I highly recommend it. You can find it. If you don't want to go driving around, who's got tea tree oil? Get on Amazon and order it and have it come right to your door, right? It's tea tree oil. You put in the thing, you put a few drops in. You don't have to rinse it off from your body. Wash your body. Some people don't like the smell. I don't mind it. It's a natural thing. It does not hurt you. Yeah. Also, let's see, what else do I have? Yeah, tea tree oil. Okay, you need your teeth products. This is kind of big for my thing, but I use this. Stash a couple toothbrushes or whatever you want to use. You can get USB powered electric toothbrushes that will that use USB to charge them up. I have a big bottle of this, and I just refilled this small one. And you just want the stuff that you normally use. Get some lotion. You're going to need lotion. And you can get a bigger thing of this. But you need sunblock. If you're going to be out and about, you need sunblock. This is an essentials list. It's not every little thing you're going to want. It's essentials. And sunblock is essential. Oh, yeah. If you use sunscreen, it works with chemicals, and you got to wait 15, 20 minutes before you go out in the sun, and it's got to absorb chemicals in your skin. Sunblock does not. It works with minerals, and it blocks the sun from going in. Okay, you need skincare. I did the lotion. You need hand sanitizer. I have a big bottle of hand sanitizer, and then I've got a few little ones. Got one by my front door of my driver's side, so when I get out of the store, I can pump and sanitize. And I keep one back here after I use my pee bottle. I do this after I cook, before I cook, all that stuff. Yeah, hand sanitizer. And I just refill the little ones with that. And you need a flashlight. Oh my gosh. Yes, I've got a lot of flashlights, and I use Through Night. They send me flashlights to tell you about. You know why I love Through Night and a flashlight? Because you can recharge them USB. You don't have to have batteries. Hello? I really don't have anything with batteries. Yeah. I mean, gotta have a flashlight. Have a couple of them, right? There we go. Okay. Let's get on with the list. Scissors. I mean, I'm talking about little tools here. But you have to have scissors. I keep mine, I know right where I don't even have to look. I just reach in there. I know where my scissors are. I used to keep them here. Now I keep them in here. I have a dedicated drawer. Another essential is get yourself a bin and put it in. Get some of the seats out. And if there was a shit hit the fan situation, you got to get out of town and you have a minivan, a lot of those second row seats you can just lift out. Just lift them out. Put them, throw them in your garage, throw your bins in, throw a couple of these drawers in that you've already filled and it's sitting in your garage, and get going. Now, here's something I do want to mention. I'm talking to you that live in houses, aren't I? It sounds like it, right? But if you're already a nomad, you already have a lot of these things. But you also might want to spruce up and say, well, what? Maybe I've let something lax, right? And as far as these are essentials, so I'm pretty sure that nomads are going to have the essentials. If not, well, keep watching. And I want you to watch this video all the way to the end, because I'm also going to talk about, what Paul and I, what our plans are. So watch it all the way to the end. Okay, scissors. You need a pen and paper. I have pen and paper. What I like to use are the big index cards. Yeah. And you can see I have I got this at Walmart. I just got it's a small size clipboard. You need a pen and paper to take notes if you need to, right? You need a multi-tool. This is my multi-tool. It's not uber expensive one. They got really bigger ones. But I like to keep this by my front. Keep it in one of the little compartments that open up. Yeah. And let's see. Here's another thing that I keep is bear spray. Pepper spray. I keep it handy. I've got pepper spray up there. I've got bear spray here. I also in the front, it's this little, like a little pack that I keep right there. Because I took out my passenger seat, and that included, attached to that was the tray thing that you can hold, drinks on, things like that. That went with it. So I don't have anything in the middle. So I stuffed one of those cloth little boxes. They're like cloth, and they go in like a cabinet, whatever. I forget what there's a name for them, and I forget. But I have a hammer in there, too. I could whack somebody right over the head if they reached in. Yeah. Or I have it there if something would happen, I had to get out of my car, and I couldn't roll down my window. Right, so I keep those handy. Weapons, very handy. And I do have a firearm, and I know how to use it. I've practiced with it, and I'm a good shot. So I do have a firearm, but there is one thing with a gun, is every bullet does have a price tag on it. It can cost so many. Using your gun, using your firearm can cause so many problems. I mean, there's a lot you have to answer for if you do. But if it's a shit hit the fan situation, it's probably everybody for themselves. But I do have ammo, and I do have a firearm. Oh yeah, and I have it handy. Okay, but that's up to you if that's what you want. And here's big extra reading glasses. Get yourself, you can even go to the Dollar Tree and pick up a few of them and just put them in a bag and keep them. Because you just never know if you got to get out of Dodge. And you may not be able to get back. then at least you have your glasses with you. Here's something I want to explain. I'm not saying that you're going to have to get out of your city and get out of your town forever, but maybe for a while. Let's look at the big one, Hurricane Katrina. They had to run, didn't they? And if they had prepared themselves, they could have thrown everything in their car that they had already prepared for, enough that they could live with, for a while. Yeah. And even if they couldn't get out, my goodness, they would have all these things, wouldn't they? So one thing with Hurricane Katrina is, and I don't have mine available, but I'll leave a link to a couple of them. I have water purifiers. Yes. I have tablets. I have the Life Straw. And I have a couple of other things. I have 2 or 3 different ones to purify water. So you're going to need that. They're very, very important to do that. Okay. Fire stop. I got this. I keep it right here. I just pull this pin and press. No, wait a minute. I'll have to read it again. Okay, what do I do then? I know that I just press this down. Yeah, stop a fire. A lot of people said get a fire extinguisher. This works just as good, and you don't want a big fire extinguisher. Somebody told me that this wasn't good enough and that I should have a fire extinguisher. Well, if I go like this or I go like this, what's the difference? It's right here, right? Right, okay. And lighting, you need lighting. I've got this kind of lighting. I've got my fairy lights, that's the kind of lighting. But you want to have the kind of lighting that you can turn to red. Red lighting at night, it's hard for anybody else to see. It gives you a little light, but it's hard for anybody else to see. You don't want to be this target, right? It's too pink. Okay, you need lighting. You need a lighter. I keep mine right here just in case. I don't smoke, but it's good to have a lighter. There you go. Or if you're at a concert. I might have a concert in here. Woo! Kidding. And I have matches also. And I have a whole fire starter kit just in case. If you want to really go for it, get the fire starter kit, like the magnesium, or the flint. Yeah. And a first aid kit. We're now going to go to Paul, and he's going to show us his first aid kits. He's the one carrying the first aid. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. Well, part of preparation and being ready for anything, one of the most important things is a decent first aid kit. I happen to carry one from REI, Recreation Equipment Incorporated. It's a very small, compact kit, but it is said that it's a hiker kit actually, and this would be everything that you could possibly need for miscellaneous problems needing some attention. Contains enough for 2 people for 2 days. So I feel that anything like this, this is going to do the job in order to give some first aid. And then if something is serious and needs more attention, that'll give us time to reach a ER or something like that to get some better medical attention. But this has pretty much everything that you could need for first aid. After all, that's what it's all about. I think this kit is really cool. It has all these pockets and tools, including a first aid manual. And this manual, I'm very impressed. REI did a nice job with this. A doctor actually wrote this manual, but it's a thick book. It covers lots of information that you might need. You name it, anything from sprains to cuts and some medicines. This gives you some great information. So this kit contains lots, and I don't know how many pieces exactly, but it does have even a small scissors, and a tweezers. There's a more medical name for that, but I can't remember what it is. You medical people will know, I'm sure. And it has this packet of everything from ibuprofen to aspirin and things that you might need if you're allergic to bee stings. And I must mention, I've had this kit for probably 3-4 years. And, you know, these things have expiration dates, and I should be updating this. But what I can do, I can get some ibuprofen tablets, for instance, put them in a little baggie, put them in this package, and put it right back into the kit. And update things like that might have an expiration date. But this has an elastic bandage. It has sanitary wipes and things of that nature. That elastic bandage could come in handy if you have a sprained ankle, something like that. So it has lots and lots of different items to help you out along the way. And, you know, you don't have to be an expert. You've got that book there for instructions on a ton of things. I mean, that's a very complete first aid manual. And I highly recommend that you carry something like this. This one, I believe, is $29.95. They have updated the kit just a little bit. It's a blue color now. And I'll leave the link to REI if you want to order one just like this, and you can get further information. It's a great little kit. I'm happy to say I have never used it, but that's a good thing. So anyway, I highly recommend that you get this. And if you have one already, don't forget to update things that might expire. Make sure you have fresh drugs in this thing. And if something happens to go wrong along the way, you've got something that will help you. And it's a good feeling to have this available. I just hope that I never have to use it. So far, so good. Hope that helps out, folks.
Okay, let's continue on with this. I did have a jump starter, but I don't know. The last couple of times it didn't work. So maybe when I bought it, it didn't get great reviews, and I just don't think it works anymore. But Paul got one, so he has a jump starter. Also have AAA, but I don't think that's going to help anybody if the shit hits the fan, right? Also have a tire inflator, and it works with my Jackery. And so that's what, one of your most important things. I did mention wipes, number one, for popularity for living the nomad life. Number two is get yourself some good Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape. Yes, duct tape, but get the Gorilla brand. And I would say right up there with both of those is a power station, because you're going to need power. You don't want to just run your car by plugging your phones and everything into your 12-volt cigarette lighter. I mean, you'd have to keep running your car all the time. Get yourself a power station and a solar panel, like a 100-watt solar panel. You're going to have power. You need power, okay? Now, I also have a code reader. I do. It's in there. I'm not going to go around and get it. I have a code reader. It's for a car code to find out what's wrong with your car, right? And I think it's very important to have. You can get them. Mine was $100, but you can get them cheaper than that. I just wanted mine to do a little bit more. Okay. Another thing too, dried foods. Get yourself some dried food. You're going to need more than that, but get yourself, if nothing else, you can have some. These are bare essentials. Get yourself some dried foods. And I talked last time about the coffee and tea and all of your coffee stuff. Very important. You want to have things that are going to be fun for you. Here's another thing too. They say in survival, get yourself some candy. Don't open it unless there's a shit hit the fan situation. But whether it's, licorice or suckers, Jolly Ranchers, chocolate's going to melt. So, but candy like that, mints, these are going to make you feel better. Have your coffee and tea if you need that. Another thing too, I think a bare essential, oh yeah, is an unopened, a bottle of vodka or bottle of whiskey, something. Because if you have to do first aid on somebody, you don't have any pain pills with you, you might want to give them a couple swigs of whiskey before you start bandaging them up. And if the shit hits the fan, don't get drunk, but you might need a swift drink. Yeah. Well, I wanted to let you know that, well, let me just say this. Next video is going to be about the IMF and about the whole system of that, just in case. I'm running this series. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to get you to think about these things, to prepare yourself for anything. But there's a lot of chitter chatter about digital currency, the Brics, the U.S. dollar not being the reserve currency anymore, and then no more no more Petro Dollar. And if that happens, a lot of you say, oh, that's so far down the road. Maybe, but maybe not. I mean, the IMF is going to start soon getting a digital currency together. And we're going to talk about that because you say, well, we're already digital, sort of. Well, this is different. This is different. And there's a lot of implications, and I'm going to help you start preparing for that situation. I promise. These are trying to be helpful, not to scare you. Because they're on my mind too. I mean, this is good for me too, to get this organized and so I can relate it to you, but I'm getting myself organized, right? Another thing too is Paul and I are getting ready to go north. It's 90 degrees in Tucson and we're just here. What we're doing is we're getting things finished up. Yeah, there's some things that I want to do and I want to accomplish before I go up there. I just want to get my van ready. I want to get my solar. I want to check on the solar on my roof. And I just want to get this a little bit more organized. I've ordered a few things. I want to stay long enough to pick them up. And so we will be going up there next week. Isn't that I'm excited about it. But I'm also sad too because I'm going to be leaving, my family here and with leaving an area that I know uber well. I rarely have to ever put in on Google Maps where to go because I know it's a big city, but I lived here 40 years previously before I became a nomad. So I know Tucson in and out. And now Paul pretty much knows most of it too. So we're going to be leaving and that's exciting. So if I miss a day, don't worry about me. It's just that we've got things going on. Yesterday we had to go to the mechanic for Paul and I drove him and Abby around in my van back here. Yeah. Okay, so please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And it really helps me when you subscribe. And I want you to go to minivanlee.com I have no more sunglasses left. I might order some more. I don't know. We'll see. You can let me know in comments if that's something you're interested in. And I've got neck gaiters. These are great to keep cool. It's 84 degrees in here right now. Wet down my braids, wet down this. And yeah, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Give me ideas of what you'd like to hear about and let me know your stories. What do you know? What do you know about how is it in your area? How is it going? I want to hear from you. Thanks, everybody. Bye.